Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7L today. Got some more summoning for you guys. That's right, it's been a little while since the last, well, let's say, successful one. We did try to summon for ML Shu the last time around in Mystics, and we failed, but on the bright side, we get to summon for Abyssal Yufine. I don't know what Yufine has done to deserve this, but yeah, they just decided to go full-on traumatic experience with her. So let's go ahead and summon for her. She's on rate up right now, and she is very, very unique. So her whole kit revolves around... Oh. Alright, well, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's here, right? It's gotta be. Unless it's a 4-star ML, and it's like a 5-star Spark. I don't know if that's actually possible, but I'll take it. Revolves around her skill 3, which puts her in like this traumatized state, and she essentially just defense breaks herself and then gives her like Omega attack and speed, which is insane. I think people were building her with either lifesteal or destruction, and she starts going just absolute hog wild on everything with her abyssal state, her traumatized state, right? So her normal S1 is actually an AoE. It's pretty decent in terms of damage, and it has an attack down. Oh no. Okay, good, it's a 4-star. I thought we got a 5-star artifact and like a 4-star like ML, like we got Bad Cat Armin or something. But yeah, and then when she's in a traumatic state, she actually defense pens the opponent by 70% with her S1. So it is pretty nice. I think she'll be pretty decent in terms of damage. I haven't looked at multipliers or anything. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yes. Hashtag one tap. That's exactly what we're doing here. And now cue the comments of everyone flaming me for having luck. Even though I went almost full pity and didn't get ML Shu. Alright, well, here we go. Abyssal Yufine acquired. I actually do have gear for her, surprisingly. And I am looking forward to be able to gear her up and give you guys a showcase. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so here we are with the very first showcase here of our Abyssal Yufine. This is my current build, and no, it's not looking real good, but that's because I have 2 pieces that I can't actually reforge, because I don't have enough reforged materials, and because Smallgate still thinks it's a good idea to not have the fire expedition be just a permanent mainstay of the game. So yeah, here we are with the weapon, and the chest can be improved, but when I get them fully reforged, she'll have over 2,000 defense, she'll have 16,000 HP, about 170 speed, 100% crit rate, and about 160 something crit damage. She's currently on Abyssal, or sorry, Elber's Ritual Sword, not Abyssal Crown. It's a wrong class, and she has a counter built into her kit. So went with lifesteal. She does do AoEs on dual attacks and counters and stuff, so you will be able to heal up quite a decent amount over the course of the match. And of course, when she gets the trauma inflicted on her, she defense breaks herself, but she gets a ton of stats. Now, the problem here is I'm about 6 defense away from having that 2,000 threshold, so we just have to kind of hope that we get the Tywin's defense buff up, and then we can use her, and we should be fine before we inflict our trauma onto ourselves, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it. There's Karina, Arwell, Lilius, and Bellion on the other side, so I think it's a pretty solid demonstration of what she can do. She's a solo DPS in this case. Right, so we do get the immunity, get the skill null up on everybody, and I know that the Arwell will go for the Yufine, so I am just going to hold off on using any skills right now. Going to use the Bunny Dom to try to hit the Bellion, try to put her to sleep. Not going to work though. Can I do this? I don't see a reason not to, just to try to hit this Bellion and Lilius and try to put them to sleep. Oh, no, we didn't hit the Bellion. We didn't hit the Sea Lilius, though, which is kind of nice. Let's see if we can try to strip any buffs with the Tywin. Let's go with this S1 here. I'm going to hold on to my S3 until I need the defense buff, also so that Arwol doesn't just strip it right here. Obviously, you don't want to be relying on a defense buffer all the time. And we will be able to showcase her in RTA and such once I get the reforged materials. I'll probably have to hit the Wyvern Gulags for a little bit to try to get those reforged materials to reforge those pieces. But we are going to get provoked here, but look at the counters. We have full fighting spirit, so our trauma is ready to be released out into the world. Guess you can call it trauma dumping. Alright, so I think what I'll do right now is go for Bunny Dom's S3. We'll push everybody up. Shuna actually has a cleanse, so we can get rid of the provoke here. We'll redistribute some health, and Tywin can go for a defense break onto everybody. And this will also defense buff my Yufine, so that she will be ready to do her thing. She's gonna keep getting attacked here. Ooh, okay, that really sucks. Alright, sure, Arwol's just gonna go ahead and strip everything there. So, alright then. We'll still be okay. So basically what happens if you don't have more than 2,000 defense when you use Yufine's S3 is that you don't get the double increase of this 100% attack and speed. So we will be a little short in terms of our damage, but hey, it's just a better demonstration, right? If she can solo this team by being at half her potential, then we're looking good. Okay, so she does defense pen here with her S1, so she has trauma right here. She'll penetrate defense, and we already defense broke them, so this will kind of stack a little bit. Let's go for the who's the most annoying one here. Let's go for Bellion, right? She is on injury right now, so oh yeah, look at that, just easily able to one-shot her. Holy! What kind of damage is that? Okay, let's go for the Karina, right? I know we're stacking the trauma with a defense break, but just, oh my god, that is disgusting. So you're telling me that if I had 2,000 defense, I'd be doing even more damage than that. We're gonna have to see in next battles. We're gonna have to tune a little bit better and hope that this Arwol doesn't dual attack with Sea Lilius all the time. And see what we're able to get. Now, one thing to note is that Yufine, when she gets her full fighting spirit, she's like Ken. Ken was like the only unit that had a cooldown associated with his S3, which was linked to his fighting spirit, right? And so does Yufine now. Yufine, even if you have full fighting spirit, if your cooldown's not there, you can't pop it. And that means that she can actually get reset, so things like Lua and Knockwall could actually potentially stop her from popping trauma when you need it, which is a little... Gosh, using Eupen is going to be so strange. The commentary surrounding the trauma is going to be interesting, to say the least. Can you stop stripping all of my buffs? That would be fantastic. Go to sleep. Or not. Let's push up the Eupen. Nice little dual attack there. And you don't get to laugh because you're too slow. Okay, nice little counter. There you go. Let's finish everybody off there. So yeah, she's quite interesting. I just wish I had the reforge mats. Or if my substat gemstones probably rolled a bit better. Perhaps I can go and gamble a few more times with substat rolls. We'll take a look. I'll see in the next match. Okay, so it's time to take a look at this second team that we're going to be fighting. It's an interesting one because we got some heavy hitters here. Karina, Apoc Ravi, and ML Landy, and there's an Ocean Breeze Luluka on the other side, maybe to deter faster teams. But we're going to bring in Solitaria, mostly to just stifle any of this potential Ocean Breeze Luluka shenanigans. I don't want to get any focus and debuff my units, so we'll go with that. We have Doris here to tank the Apoc Ravi. She's also a really good unit for defense buffing here, with continuous healing over time, so she should actually be a pretty decent support unit for Yufine, especially in something like Guild Wars. I can probably foresee her being decent there. And we're gonna bring in Fire Cecilia for some fun. She's also here to tank the Karina and her initial hit. We'll also be able to give our team our immunity buff with our S3. And Yufine actually went ahead and gambled. Man, it took like 4 additional substat stones to get this from an 11% to a 14%. They really got to rework the substat stone system. It is terrible. But yeah, we managed to get her defense above 2,000. So when we get our trauma right here, we will get double effects even without a defense buff, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it, see what we can do. Hopefully this will go pretty smoothly. I really want to see what her damage potential is going to be, because that's another extra 100% attack on top of what we had before. What I'll do is I'll try to stun this, we'll try to stun the Karina. Apoc Robbie really doesn't matter all too much, but the more I can control this Karina, the better, especially at least until I get the whole team settled in. Let's go for an S3 here. Kind of scared about this Emma Landy, actually. She's probably the spookiest thing on the other team, because she can just destroy me with a bunch of salvos. Alright, Apoc Robbie's going to come in. Doris is really good late bait, so we're going to tank everything. We're going to go ahead and defense buff. And let's go for an S1. Now, this is going to clear all the ice cream buffs, but it does open us up to Emma Landy potentially doing a lot of damage with counters and Elbrises. Thankfully, she didn't proc anything there. Okay, the good thing is we do put an attack down on our opponent, so that is pretty good too. And the salvos actually help Yufine a little bit in terms of getting her fighting spirit stacks up, right? So we get 20%, 20 fighting spirit, not 20%, 20 fighting spirit every time we are hit. So technically, Landy hitting us is not terrible. We can also get 20 every time we attack, so if we counter, we proc an Elbrus, that's also going to help out a little bit. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and blind the Landy. We can just go ahead and overwhelm her with debuffs. That's one way to deal with her, I guess. And Yufine gets to go. Now, we don't have enough fighting spirit just yet. I'm not going to soul burn her until she gets into her trauma phase. But hey, that's still pretty decent amounts of damage there. Let's go for S1 here, because Fire Cecilia has a double the chance to defense break against someone who has attack down. So she technically synergizes quite well with my Yufine, and you guys know me, I do actually enjoy using Fire Cecilia and RTA, so that might not be a bad combo, right? It might be pretty good. Let's go ahead and push up the Yufine, and let's pop our S3. This is probably going to proc Karina, because I think we're hitting the Landy here. She's going to go below half health. Oh yeah, look at that. Ignore res, push everyone back. Karina is going to proc, but that's okay. Let us go and let's S3 this Karina. She resisted the initial strip, but that's fine. See if we can stun her. Oh, she resisted that too, but we got the speed down and pushed her back. That's okay. Let's try and defense break the Ravi. Nice, very nice. And it is time. Now, no, we're gonna hold on to it. The reason I'm holding on to it is because I just want to get rid of this Landy before she can kill everybody. Okay, oh my god, that's 20k on a crit. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh, Yufine. Hang on just a second. I want to see how much damage we do, right? I would like to hit this Ravi, but we already saw she did 16k. I want to see what we do against a defense buff Karina. Let's go into her. Oh, that is still not bad. Look at that, just deleting her. You're slicing through everyone like butter at this point, which is kind of nice. Now, I'm sure that Yufine is in a pretty vulnerable position when she's in this traumatized state, but at least for things like Arena and I believe Guild Wars, she's going to be pretty fun in. In RTA, I can see her being a little bit vulnerable, but as long as you protect her with enough support units, I think you're still fine. We'll see what we can do against this Apoc Ravi. We'll try to turn cycle our Yufine, because I believe Doris is going after her, so it should be fine. Let's go for an S2. Okay, there we go. Landed the attack down. Yufine can go. We'll S1. So she has like a one-turn downtime, and we can use Doris to kind of push her back up. So with that one-turn downtime, you essentially have to rely on your defense scaling for a lot of your shenanigans and damage. But we can just turn cycle her back. Let's push back the Apoc Ravi so we can get a turn before she goes. Fire Cecilia should be able to defense break too with this S1 onto her. Alright, so let's go for that, and then Yufine gets to go. Oh, we didn't land it. That's okay. Let's go for the S3. And let's see how fast Yufine actually laps here, because she gets 200% more speed. Oh, look how fast she is. That's insane. I love that. That is so cool. Lapped my entire team to come back and take a turn. So I can see why they want to give her a turn of downtime. But yeah, overall not too shabby so far. Let's do one more and see what we can get away with. Alright, so for this fight here, let's go ahead and test out Yufine's bulkiness. There's an Aiden on the other team, and, well, it's a full light team. They're all going to be attacking our Yufine, so she's going to be getting Fighting Spirit pretty quickly. But what if our opponent picks Aiden into her, right? Will Aiden one-shot if we have all of this bulk on her? We'll have to see. I'm bringing in Rowana here to help out with some healing against this Bellion and the ML Landy on the other side. I have HPM Prince to help out my Tywin and my Carrot. I have to put Yufine in the back line just so Tywin can cleanse her when she gets stunned. She also has a self-cleanse when she has full Fighting Spirit too. She can consume all the Fighting Spirit to cleanse at the start of her turn, which is kind of nice. Yeah, we do want to be able to use her trauma as well. Now, the Researcher Carrot's going to be here. I could just go for a Zahak instead and try to wipe out this Aiden, but we're testing our defensive capabilities. Carrot's just pretty good against Bellion and ML Landy regardless, so we'll just use her as kind of a support DPS unit, and we'll see what we can get away with. Alright, so jumping into this, Aiden's gonna go. Let's see how much she does. It's not a super fast Aiden. My Carrot's only 220 something speed. Yeah, so not able to fully kill. However, it is still very, very dangerous here. I think what I'll do is I will go for Carrot's S3. And this will probably proc an Aiden to counter. So we do get some healing. Oh my god, everyone Elbrist. Wait a minute. Everyone Elbrist. Oh my god, everyone counter. It's a good thing I brought the Rowana. Now, unfortunately, everyone is also invincible, so that doesn't really help my case. I am just gonna go for an S3. I know that the RL is probably gonna strip me, but that's okay. Let's see if we can get a hit onto this Aiden. She's the only one that's really vulnerable right now. Okay, and let's go for this one. Okay, so not really much going on right now. It's just two invincible walls fighting against each other. Okay, Aiden is getting bursted down pretty quick by the Carrot, which is nice. And here comes the strip onto the Yufine. It's okay because Tywin can now cleanse her, put the immunity and the barrier up for her so that she won't get provoked by the Bellion. Landy had a field day with her counters, so she is at 50% Fighting Spirit of her own. Alright, very nice. We get to counter. It is an AoE counter, so it is quite nice. Although, you do have to watch out, because sometimes you can't help but hit things. Oh, nice. Like that. Sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's go ahead and strip the anti-crit. Or not, that's fine. Let's go for an S3. Try to strip the anti-crit. Probably not going to be able to do it. Don't have enough effectiveness, I don't think. Yeah, but we did play some burns onto the Bellion. That's nice. Let's go for S3 for some trauma. Okay, and let's see what we're able to do. Ooh, that's a lot of damage, actually. I'm not a huge fan of that. Don't want the Landy to kill us, but Yufine should have more speed, so there you go. She's able to lap pretty quickly. Let's just go ahead and slice down this Landy. Almost 20k damage on that crit there. And this is with no attack buff, by the way, so just imagine what she can do if she had an attack buff here. Alright, there we go. Bellion. I feel like once you pop Yufine's trauma, like, the match is over, right? It's just over. That was really, really quick. And her bulkiness is actually not bad. You know, into something like an Aiden, be able to survive. You just need to have the proper supports for her. That was pretty quick, though, so let's go ahead for one last match using my last arena flag and see what we can do. Okay, so there were a bunch of ML Landy defenses. I decided to go against this guy's defense with Sylvan Sage Vivian, Last Rider Crow, Karina, and Apoc Ravi, just to switch things up a little bit. You guys have kind of seen Yufine against Landy quite a few times already today. For this team, I'm going to bring in Tywin, so he will have the potential to stun and defense break, and obviously you're going to want to be able to strip the immunity from the LRK, or just prevent him from buffing to begin with. That's where Bihu comes in, so he'll be able to place the unbuffable onto everybody at the start of the match. I can also just turn cycle into him again later. Yufine also is able to strip the team completely of their buffs with her S3, so that is also going to be nice. It ignores resistance as well. That's going to be good so that Tywin can follow up, defense break everybody, and then Yufine can just kind of slice through everyone there. I do want to test her out with an attack buff when she is in her traumatized state, so we're going to bring in ML Calric and see how much damage we can do, especially against really tanky units like the Apoc Ravi, Karina, and the Last Rider Crow, right? Sylvan Sage Vivian's just going to kind of exist for a little bit. She's going to help us get some fighting spirit, though, with her AoEs. That's going to be kind of nice. Let's go for an S3. S3 also prevents her from using Chatty, although it doesn't look like she's starting with a barrier, so it doesn't seem like there is a Chatty. Let's go for an S2 onto her so that we prevent her from doing too much there. Tywin could probably just rip his S3 here, but do I really want to do that? Or do I want to wait for some ignore resist? I think I can wait, because Karina's gonna go defense break, right? Sylvan Sage Vivian goes afterwards, so I think that's alright. Let's go ahead and try to provoke the Last Rider Crow. It's not gonna work, and Yufine's gonna AoE. This prevents him from getting a barrier for his team, right? And he doesn't get immunity here either. So Last Rider Crow's usefulness is kind of nullified by the Bihu existing. Nice little counterattack. Okay, and this is going to go into the Tywin, which is perfectly fine. Gonna see the Karina come out. Ooh, wait, we actually lap. That's fine. We'll just get rid of the Sylvan Sage then. No need for her. Karina's gonna proc, get nothing. That's why Bihu's actually pretty decent against her. No defense buff for the Karina. She's still gonna hurt quite a bit. Oof, especially with that defense break there. Let's go ahead and cleanse with the Calric. This will give us an attack buff before we get our Yufine's trauma up, but should still be fine. Let us go for an S3. Now, one issue that you can see here is that Yufine is a little bit slow to ramp up, so that is a valid criticism of her kit, is that you don't really start with any fighting spirit, and you just have to work your way up from 0. Let's go into Karina, see if we can land a burn. Oh, very nice, double burns. Okay, if we can just counterattack somewhere, would be nice. No Elbrus. No Elbrus. Oh, that kind of sucks. Okay, let's go for the S3 then. Okay, next turn we will have trauma, but then we'll lose our attack buff. That's okay. We'll go for an S2 onto the Ravi. Try to get her to not do as much damage. She's going to counter here. That's fine. Let's go for a provoke onto the Karina. Nope. Let's go for this onto the Karina. Nice, double burns once more. LRK is going to S3. Bihu's going to go bye-bye. And let's see if Yufine can do anything here. Alright, she does counterattack, so goodbye Karina. Goodbye Tywin. This is turning out to be a much closer match than I anticipated. It's okay, because it's about to end, right? Once Yufine gets her trauma here, we should be able to lap our opponents. Oh, that's still a pretty decent chunk of damage. And the fact that you push them back 50% allows you to lap so much easier. Let's go for a soul burn here. Alright, 17k. Let's go for an attack buff. Let's see how much Yufine does against this Last Rider Crow. He has no defense break, which is perfect in simulating ideal circumstances where, you know, you don't have a defense break, but you do have her defense penetration with her S1 here, right? And we could soul burn. I actually kind of do want to soul burn to see how much damage we do, but let's do it without it. That's not too bad at all, especially, again, Last Rider Crow is going to have way more defense than other typical units that you'd fight, right? So Yufine doing pretty well in her little showcase here. I'm really happy with how she's turned out. So yeah, plus 15 Vine, she's going to be really fun to use in RTA, and I can't wait to do so. But if you've had experience with Abyssal Yufine, please let me know what you think of her in the comments section down below. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care.